Stockholmers were on their way home for the weekend when the latest blow to their country's hopes of joining NATO was announced. Turkey would let Finland in, but not yet Sweden. The main reason? Turkey has claimed that the government in Stockholm is harbouring what Ankara calls terrorist groups, particularly the Kurdistan Workers Party, the PKK.
Nowadays, PKK has a black market here. Sweden know that, and Turkey know that. And Turkey will, Sweden, take it seriously.
Jindar Ah is a Kurdish journalist who came to Sweden in 2005. He watched in January as tensions between Turkey and Sweden reached their height, when Kurdish protesters in Stockholm hung an effigy of Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan in response to his demand that Sweden extradite a list of people he said were linked to the PKK. Some Kurds feared that having been given refuge, they could now be sent back.
Those protests about NATO and Sweden and Turkey was planned by PKK supporters. We are two different groups of Kurds here in Sweden. As a Kurd, I have a good life here. Sweden respecting me, my language. We will see what will Sweden do. As a Kurd, as an observer, I want to see the Swedish government to take some serious actions.
The situation wasn't helped when Danish right-wing politician Rasmus Paludan was allowed to burn a Quran outside the Turkish embassy. But whatever happens now, it wasn't meant to be like this for Sweden, who've been stepping up their military in preparation for joining NATO. It followed decades of neutrality, which had become part of their identity.
The common defence planning that we've been doing with Finland since 2014 will become much more difficult. It is right now that the ideas of NATO's new forward defence is going to be figured out. And in that work, it would be a very big benefit for NATO if they knew if they could include both Swedish territory but also Swedish military capabilities.
Particularly precious to NATO would have been Swedish technology, with its Gripen jets bolstering the alliance's airborne capabilities over the Baltic. Such an addition to their armoury in opposition to Russia is now up in the air.
Last year, Sweden's entry into the alliance alongside Finland seemed all but assured as NATO countries rushed to welcome them in. But with Turkey and also Hungary still having doubts, Sweden may have to wait until the upcoming Turkish elections at the very least. Rhys, Al Jazeera, Stockholm.